Welcome to another great Up to Speed Live. I'm Andy Choi, and folks, we have a fantastic show today. We are going to think about and continue to answer the question, who are we? And when we refer to our V team, that question comes up quite a bit. Who is the V team? We're going to answer that question with our HR leader, Christy Pambianchi. She'll be joining us to go through our diversity representation report, talk about social justice, have an update for that. But before we get to Christy, we do want to check in with our teams responding to Hurricane Sally. This is along the Gulf Coast. We have Chris Sanders with us from the Verizon response team. Chris, first of all, we're thinking of you. We're thinking of your teams as you're moving along. Tell us where you are. And as you're talking about this response to Hurricane Sally, talk to us about the resiliency of the network.
Hi, Andy. Thank you very much. Don't let the sun and blue skies fool you. We're currently in Jackson, Mississippi. My esteemed colleague Bill Barr and myself, and we're moving down to Hattiesburg. Actually, right after this call to reposition as the storm continues to move east. And it's not even just us moving. We have a whole team moving. We have Trent Griggs, who's been working tirelessly in the aftermath of Hurricane Laura, ready to move east as well. We have John Shada moving down to Dothan, Alabama from North Carolina. And we have Joss Bowmaster, who's currently in North Florida. Right there, he's already helping first responders and public safety. And Earl Struble being Overwatch and making sure we all have what we need. And speaking of the resiliency of the network, the fact that our network is so resilient, it really helps us in the end of the day, because with storms as large as Sally and Laura, it's just a fact that everyone's network is going to be affected in some way. But the fact that our network is so resilient really aids us in helping those first responders ensure that they are responding quickly, efficiently, and effectively.
That's wonderful, Chris. And yeah, I know that you're super busy right now. The teams are moving as Sally continues to move. So thank you for your time on Up to Speed. One last question for you. I know as we respond, we know that our customer base can use the extra support, whether it's charging phones or just looking for a place to figure out, how to stay connected with loved ones. And that's part of your work and your team's work as well.
Yes, it is. So it's not, whenever we're not actively helping first responders, we do try to help the community by setting up charging stations, because we feel as a team that it's extremely important to set those up for people who have lost power, who have lost connectivity, because one of the most important things after a storm is reconnecting with your family members, hearing their voice, letting them know that you're okay and that your family and everyone that's in the affected area is okay. So we feel very strongly about that. And that's one of the things, in addition to helping first responders, that we try to focus on.
It's a wonderful thing that our Verizon response team is doing during these times of severe weather. So thank you, Chris, and to all the teams out there making sure that our network is up and running. And of course, our customers are safe and well connected. And safe travels to you, sir. Thank you very much for your time on Up to Speed.
Thank you, Andy. Have a great day, everybody.
Thank you. With that, let's head on over to Christy. Christy, welcome to Up to Speed. We've got a lot to talk about today.
Thanks, Andy. It's great to be here. It's great to be back on Up to Speed. I'm looking forward to talking with the V team today about something that Verizon's really passionate about, I'm really passionate about, and it's our diversity representation report, Andy. We know that diversity is one of our greatest competitive advantages. It's something Verizon's been passionate about over the 20 years of our inception, and it's really core to how we deliver at speed and scale to our customers, shareholders, society, and also to each other. So today, one of the things I want to share is we are making available to all of our V-teamers and putting out on our external webpage who makes up the V team and what our representation is across the company. And what people will see is we have a really strong participation from women and people of color across the whole company. So let me jump in and talk a little bit about the data, and then I'm going to come up and talk more about where we're going to go from here. So I think maybe you can see right now already we've pulled up and we're sharing what is our breakdown of gender across the V team. And so a couple of takeaways. If you look at this information, what you'll see, and this is at a global scale, 33.5% of our workforce are women and 66.4% are male. And so when we look across the different bands, you'll also be able to see what that breakdown looks like of both participation of women and men and unknown for gender. And we're really excited about the fact that we have strong participation at leadership levels and at entry levels. And we're going to continue to do work to strengthen the movement into management and the pull through to women at all levels of the company. We've got strong mentoring, and we're going to be working on bringing hiring and other development efforts to life. If we look and take a similar click down and look at on the next slide, we also are sharing our diversity by race across the V team. This is our U.S. population, because in the United States, we track race as part of all employment practices in the United States based on our rules and laws and processes here. And so a couple of things we're excited about. First, I want to highlight that we have 54% of our population is white. We have 19% as Black and African American, 11% Hispanic, 9% Asian, and then we have a few percentage points reported as unknown. 2% state that there are more than two races. We have 0.4% American Indian and Alaskan Native, and 0.3% Native Hawaiian or Pacific Islander. And when we look at these numbers, first, I want to say that we are really proud of and excited about the participation we have from all of the races that we track in our EEO1 report for the government, as well as all of our diversity activities within the company. And we also know that across both our gender and our race, that we will also want to have improvement plans. This is an area where, you're never done. And in fact, the United States is in the middle of a census right now that was going to yield for us what the country looks like in 2020 that will help guide employers to figuring out what we want to make sure we're bringing into our workplace. And so we're pretty excited about this. You've heard a lot of things from me before with the leaders on the VLC about our racial justice action plan as well. And I think you can see in our transparency here that we've had a longstanding commitment. These kind of results were achieved over 20 years of strong work and great partnership with the folks that we have in the company, helping us with pipelining and bringing talent into the company, as well as shepherding them through careers with meaning and value. And so we're pretty excited about that. But we're also sharing this because we know the V teamers are going to be able to look at this and work with their local teams, their leaders, the HR team to say, how can we be even better? How can we not only make Verizon better and stronger, but be a leader for the world in this area? And so we're pretty excited. A couple of things I want to highlight that we're excited about is we've got really strong on-the-job training opportunities. We've got career development support so all V teamers can maximize their potential. And we do remain as a company fiercely committed to equality. So we've looked at and we've shared in our ESG report previously that we have pay, equity, and salary for women globally and for people in the United States on the basis of race and ethnicity in addition to by gender. Our ERGs help us with all of our cultural efforts, and we've done marquee programs such as WOW, focused on helping build diverse leadership pipelines. And so a couple of things I want to highlight in our ongoing commitments is when you're committed to equality, you're committed to the practices that help advance equality. And that means we're going to double down on our efforts to continue to infuse greater equity into our processes. So we're going to continue to expand mentorship and development opportunities for women and people of color across teams at all levels. We're going to reinforce our recruitment and retention practices to cultivate a more diverse workforce. Third, we're going to evaluate and strengthen support systems to ensure that women and people of color have equal opportunity to advance in their careers and thrive professionally. And we're going to keep championing our ERGs, our employee resource groups, to further support their efforts to create dynamic employee groups and communities. And finally, we've introduced already, and we're going to continue to add on to learning pathways so our leaders and all of our V team members can really educate themselves on unconscious bias and allyship and ways in which they can become advocates and take action to bring to life the workplace that we want to have here at Verizon. And so you might be wondering, what's next? This is a lot of information that you're sharing with us, Christy. So a couple of things. This is really the beginning of a dialogue and a continuation of the journey that we've been on to continue to make Verizon one of the best places in the world to work. You heard things like that from me with our Pulse Plus survey that we discussed a few weeks ago. And as we think about the culture and the company that we want to bring to life in our employee North Star, having a company where all V-teamers can bring their whole self to work and they could thrive and they could figure out how to be successful personally and professionally is what we're all about. And we know that that's going to allow us to serve our customers and serve society and all of our stakeholders even better. So, specifically, your leaders will have more information on your functional or your organizational specific data that they could share and talk with you about. And we also know that through our ERGs and our training curriculum and other things that we'll be showcasing, there'll be ways for you to get involved, whether it's helping us with recruiting or developing or mentoring or sharing to help make everybody be able to be their best and thrive at Verizon. And I couldn't end without highlighting, Andy, pretty excited about some recent recognitions we received. So we have been celebrated and recognized for the work we've done in this area. And more recently, we were nominated by and recognized by Forbes as a top employer for women. Prior honors also include being recognized for one of the best companies for LGBTQ+. And we've also enjoyed 100% ranking on the Human Equality Index. We also have received awards for being the #1 company for military, as well as military employees and families, people with disabilities, as well as for best employer for people of color in various areas and award categories. And just today, we were recognized as one of the 100 best companies for working moms and for working dads. And we know this has been an important advancement for our employees that have been focusing on balance and families in the V team. And so really excited, a lot of information that we're putting forward. And I hope, this is a little bit of we're walking the talk. And I know that was one of the things our employees asked a lot of the VLC as we came forward, starting in Q2 with more of our work to support racial justice and the dialogue we were having on that front, and really hoping that this would continue. And I hope that employees see this as a step in that set of commitments, and hopefully will be the basis upon which we can all engage to keep making Verizon even better.
And Christy, those numbers you shared with us, thank you. And of course, a big congratulations to our entire team, especially our HR team, for being able to, as you mentioned, walk the talk. And that's something, when we talk about diversity, is something we talk about all the time. It's not just a buzzword. This is a way of life for us. With that in mind, I know that we talk a lot about, those actions after those words when we talk about racial justice and some of our social justice action plans that we've had. If you can give us an update on that.
Yeah, Andy, this is really exciting. First, I can't thank the V team enough for everything all of you have done to really step up and embrace all of the things that we're trying to work on as a company. You heard from Hans earlier this year about the donations and the commitments we've made to some of the leading organizations in the world on this. Over the last few weeks, we've heard from Rose periodically about where those monies are being earmarked and what efforts are being done with them. And I want to say, spoiler alert, possibly coming soon on an Up to Speed near you, people are going to learn about volunteer activities from those organizations that are going to be added to our portal. We've also had the Bold Walk for Dr. Martin Luther King's remembrance and the March on Washington. We had record numbers of V-teamers participate. We also just launched ally training. We had done a number of pilots. So for those of you that went to the pilots, thank you. Got a lot of great feedback. We had 4 or 5 different methods we were testing, group sizes, everything is virtual. We landed on one. We've rolled that out to leaders. The sessions filled up right away. So 1, that's exciting. 2, we're figuring out how to run more. And 3, it just says this is something people are really craving. We also added to the Degreed Learning portal a curriculum on how to learn more about the history of race relations and the history around this topic. And that was something the V-teamers asked for. And we've seen just phenomenal uptake on that. And then I have to say, I'm just blown away by the amazing work the communications team has done on our Next 20 series. We've had almost 2.5 million views. 2.5 million views of the interviews and the experts and the employee stories that have been brought forward there. specifically around the areas of race and racial justice and racial relations history. And so to me, that is just amazing. And so proud to be on the V team and myself be part of this journey with all of the coworkers and colleagues here to bring to life the world we want to live in. We're also, Andy, stay tuned soon. People will hear more. We're bringing a mentor program to life. This is something a lot of V teamers been asking for. This is for all employees. And this way people will have a way through the Degreed platform to find mentors or to offer to be a mentor. And we've also been working on something that's being, thanks to awesome partnership with the marketing team and the comms team, we're going to be calling it Talent GPS. So a little bit of a sneak, probably not really deploying until the end of the year. But one of the things that employees tell us that, and I totally appreciate this, they want to build careers with Verizon. They want to know what are all the opportunities and options available to them. So there's been teams hard at work really looking to kind of capture and organize what are the job families we have at Verizon: commercial, human resources, operations. What are the job families? What are the kind of jobs in those job families? What skills and competencies do you need to get those jobs? And then how can I build a learning plan or find a mentor that can help me? And so this is all work that we're doing that's going to deploy over the next few quarters, but it's going to really give people, as we're calling it, a talent GPS, almost like their own compass and their own way to guide their development, to bring to life the aspirations they have for themselves in their careers, and to do that here at Verizon. And I view that in line with helping us achieve all the goals we want around our culture and around inclusion, and all employees from every race and every gender thriving in and ethnicity and LGBTQ status and more, thriving at Verizon. And then we're going to be one of the best employers in the world. And that makes me really excited.
It is awesome. It gives me so much pride when I think about everything we've done in the past few months within the prism of social justice. So congratulations to all of our teams, making sure that we walk the walk there. Christy, you delivered so much today and so much thought-provoking content. See, I was thinking if you had some time tomorrow, we can make this like a double feature. You can join us live again. We're going to talk about voting. What do you say?
Andy, I say aye to that, and I will be here.
Excellent, excellent. So we're going to talk about voting. Christy's going to give us an update on that as well. So yes, we're going to get a double dose of Miss Christy Pambianchi. Christy, any final thoughts on our diversity update, social justice, just some thoughts from our HR team?
First, I want to give a huge thank you. The HR team, along with the comms team, have really been working at speed to move to this stage where we are today. We had actually been on a track to do this in the March timeframe. And then just given the events that transpired in the second quarter, our team sat around and said, you know what, that's not good enough for our V team. We're going to bring this forward now. And folks have really worked to accelerate that. And while this looks simple to just share our data, we are very passionate. If we put something out in public, just like our ESG report, we actually had the audit team review all of the information. We went through all the protocols with our board of directors and our VLC. So just like everything we take seriously, we are really, really serious about this. So I just want to say a huge thank you to the HR team and the communications team and the legal teams and finance teams that turned on a dime to help do this, because this is one of the biggest questions that we were getting throughout the summer and the conversations we were having around this. And so in response to our V-teamers, the leadership felt this was critical to pull up forward on the timetable. And so I just want to thank the people that worked on this, and for our supervisors out there that I know will now be engaging in these conversations with their work teams, thank you. Because I know we're calling these, we're having these conversations, right? And these sometimes they're conversations people haven't had before, or they're uncomfortable conversations, but we can't get better unless we have them. So for all of you helping us learn how to do this, I just want to say thank you.
And thank you, Christy, for joining us. And for sure, we will see you back here tomorrow live on Up to Speed. Thanks so much.
Thanks, Andy.
All right, folks, before we go, our thanks, of course, to Chris from the Verizon response team, Chris Sanders, who literally, as soon as he was done, I saw him on Blue Jeans here. He hopped in his car and he headed for Hattiesburg. So he's watching. The Verizon response team is watching. Sally, we will, of course, update you as well as the storm continues to move. Our thoughts, of course, with our Verizon response team as they continue to respond and run towards a crisis there. So a couple things before we leave you. I do want to mention, Christy did mention Next 20, and I want to talk about the next 20. So let's take that slide there. This is the next episode of Next 20, our series about the issues and conversations that will define the next 20 years. In this episode, Brittany Jones Cooper, host and producer at Build Series, moderates a two-part panel on how Gen Z is rocking the status quo in these uncertain times and what this generation expects from brands, educators, and employers to build a stronger and more equitable society. So that is happening tomorrow, our conversation with Next 20 at 3 p.m. Eastern, episode 6. And by the way, the Up to Speed tomorrow, we might just have a Gen Zer join myself and Christy as well. Just a little tease there for you. One other thing we want to talk about, Christy mentioned volunteering. This team loves to volunteer, and it's wonderful. We've been seeing folks volunteer with so many groups. And of course, one of those big groups is Boys and Girls Club. Now, tonight, Verizon is proud to be a part of their event. They're naming the Northeast Youth of the Year. Verizon business leader George Fisher caught up with one of the past recipients. Here's their conversation.
In your perspective, why would you invest in the Boys and Girls Club?
The cool thing that I realized when I was Youth of the Year is that, I get to represent these 4 million club kids, right? For a year, I get to run around, I get to tell my story. But just like me, there are so many other stories that are waiting to be told, that are waiting to be shared. All that money that Boys and Girls Club raise goes to these clubs all around the world to really help kids.
And our thanks to Courtney and George for that short conversation there. But once again, the event is tonight, Youth of the Year, Northeast, 6 p.m. Eastern. All the details are on the web for how you can join. You can always volunteer for opportunities, of course, for Boys and Girls Club and other opportunities. Go to Verizon.com/volunteer VTeamers and make sure you get those volunteer hours in. And, of course, before we go, you're probably wondering when and where is that camper going on our Staycation road trip series. But we've got a few more episodes before we wrap things up on Friday, but we've got one for you right after right after my sign off here, and we are going to the land down under. So with that, I'll say to you, Christy, we'll see you back here tomorrow, and until next time, you're up to speed. Since our Staycation World Tour to Ireland was such a blast, let's keep globetrotting and head to the land down under. Good day, mate. For this one, we've enlisted the help of some well-traveled YouTubers. Travel experts Kara and Nate are about to give us the ins and outs of all the can't-miss things to do and see in Australia. Now, recently, Kara and Nate hit 1 million subscribers on YouTube, traveled to their 7th continent with a fun trip to Antarctica, and visited their 100th country. So, it is my pleasure to welcome Kara and Nate to Verizon's Staycation Road Trip.
We're Kara and Nate. We've been full-time traveling for the last 5 years. We started a YouTube channel to document the journey, and over the last 4 years, we've traveled to 100 countries until the pandemic started, which at that point, we started living in a van so we could spend some time exploring our own backyard.
When we first made the decision to travel full-time, it was scary, and there was so much uncertainty. We eventually decided that we would never regret trying. Even if we tried and failed, the worst thing that could happen is we move back home and get another job, and we knew that option was always there.
We knew we would always wonder what if we didn't try and 100% go for turning this YouTube channel into a business that could financially sustain our travels. We wanted to keep being able to explore more of the world.
It kind of forced us to find something that we loved doing, and we realized that we loved making videos and sharing them with the world, and we did not want to stop it. So we just put all of our efforts into that, and it worked out.
We've been to Australia 2 times. The first time that we went as broke backpackers. We spent a little bit of time in Sydney, and we spent the majority of our time driving the Great Ocean Road. The second time we went to Australia was last year, and we had the opportunity to go with PADI, which is the dive organization.
The Great Barrier Reef in Australia was the #1 thing on our bucket list before we started traveling. All of the sea life we saw was beautiful and huge and colorful and vastly exceeded our expectations.
On the Great Barrier Reef, Heron Island is an island that you can actually take a helicopter to, and to get to see the Great Barrier Reef from above was just mind-blowing.
The first time we went to Australia, we had a very small budget, and we really wanted to tour the Sydney Harbor. And so we kind of figured out a way to get that for a very small price. We ended up on the local ferry, so a few dollars, and it takes you across the harbor to the zoo. You're basically getting the same tour as the proper harbor tour, but on the local ferry. 99% of the people got off at the zoo, and the way back, we had the ferry all to ourselves. It was like a private tour of the harbor.
One of the best things that we did was having a fish and chips picnic on Bondi Beach. We spent the day hanging out at the beach, walking these cliffs, overlooking the beautiful ocean, and then we ended the evening at Bondi Beach. There's this little fish and chip shop called Bondi Surf Seafood. They serve the best fish and chips I've ever had, and you can take it down, sit in the grass, overlooking the beach, and just have a picnic. And sometimes it's those little experiences that you remember more than like the big things like seeing the Sydney Opera House.
My best piece of advice for someone who wants to travel full-time is pick a date in the future and start telling people.
There's never going to be the perfect time to start long-term travel, so you have to pick a date and somehow hold yourself accountable, and that's what we did by telling a bunch of people. So then that was the expectation, and we had the pressure that we were leaving on that day.
Right now, our goal is to continue traveling as safely as possible and make the best videos that we can with this new challenge of living in a van in the United States. And just to be as positive and show as many good things that our country has to offer, because I think that's what everybody needs right now.
Big thanks to Kara and Nate for sharing their adventures and travel tips with us, all as we continue our Staycation road trip adventures. And while we're in Australia, let's tip our hats to the hundreds of V-Teamers there. V-Team Australia spans both Verizon Business Group, Enterprise and Connect, as well as Verizon Media Group, in addition to some network, legal, and finance folks too. The work we do there includes serving the federal government in Australia, making up our largest cybersecurity team outside of the U.S., and we also serve 4 of the 5 major banks on the continent. If that isn't music to your ears, here's another reason to turn up the volume. Now, I could borrow our friend Matt Fiedler's Men at Work album, but how about some music from another fantastic Aussie band? As we say, hooroo from the land down under, here's music from indie pop band Glades.
Don't like the way he's treating you. Oh, what a bummer.
My name is Karina Savage. I am the lead singer of Glades. The other members of Glades are Cam Robertson and Joey Winchester. And we are a pop trio from Sydney, Australia.
Seeming crazy, you know what you gotta do. So baby, die it all blonde. All the things you left on the front lawn. Burn a CD of your favorite song. Put it on, burn it up, burn it up till he's gone.
We all met in high school. I'm kind of known as that musical kid in school, and they were as well. And I played a school showcase, and Cam and Joey were there, and they heard me play and sing. And they kind of decided to pursue production after they graduated. But when I graduated, they actually asked me to form Glades with them, and they thought it'd be a lot more fun to make music for yourself than make music for other people. We built a bit of an online following, and then started doing live shows, mostly just in like the Sydney area. And then it just grew from there.
Go find another. He thought he had what you needed. Really, he needed you. And if you're sick of seeming crazy, you know what you gotta do. So baby, die it all blonde.
Myths about Australia. It's not like we all ride kangaroos to school and the sharks at the beach, all that kind of stuff. Something that Australia is really well known for is the quality of cafes, the quality of food, and the coffee. There's like a massive coffee culture in Australia. There is so many great places in Sydney, so many restaurants, so many fun places to visit. This place called Butter. It's a fried chicken restaurant in Sydney, and the whole concept is fried chicken and sneakers. So you can go and get quality fried chicken and then look at some quality shoes. No joke. So that's a pretty cool place.
All the things you left on the front alone. Burn a CD of your favorite song. Put it on, burn it up, burn it up till he's gone.
You can hear all of our music on any streaming platform. Spotify, YouTube, Apple Music. We have a couple singles coming out at the end of the year and an album coming out next year, so keep your eyes open for that. It is the absolute honor to represent Australia for Verizon Staycation. I would just say I hope we've done our country proud. I hope that we've been able to show that Australia is a beautiful place. So thank you, Verizon, for choosing us to represent Australia.
Looking like she got no time for. Everybody knows of her. Moving through crowds like Cobra. Turning heads like she Oprah. Sugar chill wallet on empty. Options she got plenty. When she get a hold she deadly. But only moves when she ready. Right, left, where she go they be blessed. East, west, they all come to confess. But before you know, you're exactly where she wants. And then she starts to run. Eeny, miny, mo, where she gonna go? You can never know. Falling like a diamond, no, not again. Dizzy in your head, there's no antidote for this vertigo. Oh, eeny, miny, mo, where she gonna go? You can never know. Falling like a diamond, no, not again. Dizzy in your head, there's no antidote for this vertigo. Funny, she ain't even sorry. Breaking hearts like it's a hobby. Play with you like you were Barbie, then run away like a tsunami. She making you believe she your girlfriend, but she's doing the same thing to your best friend. Tongue split in two like a serpent. Off you as soon as she's on him. Right, left, where she go, they be blessed. East, west, they all come to confess. But before you know, you're exactly where she wants. And then she starts to run. Eeny, miny, mo, where's she gonna go? You can never know. Falling like a diamond.